My name is Charnell Brown.
I'm Crystal.
Nice to meet you, Crystal, and welcome.
Thank you.
So you have the disclosure statement, and you already have that. So when you get a chance, look over it. But I just want to let you know that everything that we discuss here in this session will just be between me and you, and unless you threaten to hurt yourself, another person, elderly, or a child, then I have I'm deemed to report that.
All right.
Okay, and we could just start off by just telling me what brought you in today.
Well, my husband told me that he thought I needed to seek out some counseling. I'd recently just seen a psychiatrist, but I felt like there was a disconnect between the two of us. So that's the main reason why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've been very disconnected to my own family and my faith in church, and I feel really depressed and anxious all the time, and I feel like I don't have motivation to continue to be involved with my in-laws, who I've normally been very close to, and they've helped me out a lot because they've been one of my main support systems in helping me take care of my children. So, that's mostly why I'm here.
Okay. All right. And has there been a history of these issues, like depression, anxiety, feeling disconnected?
Yeah, when I was in grade school, I went through a period of depression where I did seek out some counseling because my parents had been divorced or got divorced, and my mom remarried pretty quickly, and so I took that pretty hardly, and I would lash out and fight with classmates or my teachers, and so I guess that's the history of it. Normally I've been able to keep the depression minimized, and it hasn't been an issue, but lately it's been a more consistent part of my life.
Okay. Alrighty. So you kind of know what this depression and anxiety feels like because you've already experienced it when you were in grade school.
Yeah, I don't think it was to the severity that it is now, and as frequent. I definitely bounced back a lot better when I was younger than I have now.
Okay. All right. Any additional issues or concerns that have occurred lately with you dealing with the depression and the disconnect with your family?
I guess I've been really concerned because I used to be very active in my church and the community there, and I've definitely feel like I've fallen from grace when it comes to that.
Okay. And would you say that the depression and disconnect is affecting your motherhood, or is it mainly your marriage?
I would say that it definitely is a concern in my marriage, and that's why my husband has requested that I seek out treatment. I don't really think I think it affects my parenting because my children can see that I'm depressed and I'm not like 100% mommy, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I know you mentioned that you had the history of depression and anxiety when you were in grade school. Were you diagnosed with anything, or
I was diagnosed with like mild depression.
Okay.
And then some with adjustment. It was adjustment issues because I had a hard time transitioning from my parents being married to my mom being married to someone else.
Okay. And you had counseling before in grade school, and you also had a psychiatrist before you decided to come here, correct?
Yes, I did see a psychiatrist before I decided to come here, and I did probably about 6 months of counseling when I was in grade school.
Okay. And do you have a history of substance abuse, alcohol abuse, or any of that currently?
No, I have. I've never been one to use drugs. I did drink when before I was 23 when I got pregnant with my first child, but other than that, I don't drink much. I definitely had an urge a lot more lately to drink, but since I just have, it's like the need to drink, but at the same time, the lack of motivation.
Yeah. Okay. And would you say that, did you have any medical issues, or are you on any medications?
I don't have any current, I'm in good health right now. I don't have too much bad health that runs in the family. My mother has high blood pressure, and I know my grandparents had heart disease, but other than that, I haven't experienced anything. I was on an antidepressant for a little while that the psychiatrist had recommended or prescribed to me, but I went off of that because
did it make you tired?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed to make the lack of motivation worse.
Okay. And when you were in school, did you have any academic issues, concerns, or about your classes, or
no?
Whatever?
When I was in school, I didn't have any academic concerns. I mean, I guess I didn't really know what I wanted to do with myself. I wasn't very certain, and I guess I still am not. That's why I only worked retail. But I got pregnant with my daughter shortly after beginning school, so I quit after that.
Alrighty. And I know you mentioned that you have a disconnect with your family right now. So do you have a support system that you can call and talk to, or?
I guess my husband is my biggest support system. I guess my children are too. I mean, unintentionally they are. My in-laws used to be, but like I said, there's a huge disconnect there from them. And then I'm not connected with my mother or siblings. I used to be very connected with the people I went to church with, but since my faith seems weak these days, I have not kept in contact, or I felt a disconnect with the people that I went to church with because my faith had been weakened. I had friends in high school, but because I was married so young and everyone else was doing what young people do, I guess I really drifted apart from them. So the only person I had was my husband, and then having kids at 23 really ended my social life at that point. I mean, when I was working retail, I had some co-workers that were kind of support system, but as they would come and go, it would kind of change.
Okay. Alrighty. And would you say that, it's really affecting your mental status, your functioning, and things like that?
I would. I have a hard time getting motivated to get out of bed, or get dressed up and go to church or see my family, or being involved with my children's lives and connecting with friends and extracurricular things outside the family. I don't feel good about anything I do. I just lack the motivation and the confidence. It's hard to just be happy with what I have.
Okay. And do you have trouble sleeping or concentrating?
I would say my mind never shuts off when I sleep, but my body is always tired. So, I could lay in bed all day, but never be fully asleep, but never have the energy to actually get out of bed. So It's like I'm always tired, but I'm never fully asleep.
Okay. Right. And going through this depression and anxiety and, feeling, how you've been feeling, have you had thoughts of suicide or harming self or others?
I've never had the thought of harming others or I've never had the thought of harming others.
Okay.
But the thought of suicide has come across my mind, but not very seriously. It's more like a thought of well, what happens if I weren't alive? But never
never have you taken it to that the extent that you have went in a cabinet to overdose on any pills or
no. I've thought about if I do it, how would I do it? But never a serious concern. Just a what if.
Okay. And when you had counseling in grade school, did you go through that stage? Did you kind of think about, would things be better if I just were dead or?
No, in grade school I never felt like it, but I was very angry. So I would think about hitting my mom or my mom's boyfriend, and just very, very angry at that point, but never thoughts of hurting myself.
Okay. Alrighty. And I know you kind of touched on, exactly what you would think, when, that I guess it is a suicide thought, that, you even think that having the thoughts of, what if I weren't here, So, how intense was that on a scale 1 to 10, do you think?
Probably about a 4 or 5. Okay. It was more what if versus how am I going to do this? When am I going to do this?
And how long does those thoughts usually last?
Pretty brief.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Moving right along. Do you ever think, when you have those thoughts, you think about, your different reasons for living and, you think, would things be better if I were just gone? But then, what would you say that kind of like is a click in you and say, basically saying, well, maybe I shouldn't think like that or something? What keeps you going and keeps those thoughts from being long-term thoughts and just brief thoughts?
I think I don't really know if there's a motivation. It's just lack of motivation to do anything. Like, it's just a thought because my mind never shuts off. But it's not, I just don't have the motivation to, like, do it. Or the desire, I guess, at this point.
Okay. All right. So what would you say your personal strengths are, your coping skills and...
I guess that even though I'm depressed, just going day by day is a strength at this point. I guess at this point, my strengths are just keeping a bare minimum in my life. Okay. Like, keeping the house just barely clean.
Okay.
When I was, not depressed, I was very, like, outgoing and active with my social life. Very sociable, I guess. Okay. That would be a strength.
Would you say, being a good mom, being a mother is...
Yeah, but I could be better.
Okay. And what would you say some coping skills are for you?
Sleeping. Okay. Sleeping a lot. Watching TV.
Okay. And do you, do any self-care, take time out for yourself?
No, not right now.
Okay, what have you done in the past to give yourself some care?
I guess I've really just always put my kids and husband first. Mm-hmm. So I guess my self-care would have been actually being active in my church and sociable. Mm-hmm. And I guess working in retail was also, even though it was a job, it was self-care because I got out.
All right. And it's important that we set goals and, to kind of, go on and to strive for. So what are some goals that you, look out of achieving from coming to counseling?
I would feel less depressed.
Okay. You want to put that on a scale. So now, what's your depression rate? Is it 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10?
I think depression's probably a solid 7 or 8 out of 10.
Okay, and about how many days out of the week do you feel depressed?
I think 7 out of 7, but days, like one day out of the 7, it's more like a 4 or 5. So,
okay.
I guess it almost does, since the depression is usually normally a 7 or 8, on the days that it's a 4 or 5, it's like a relief. But okay. I guess it's always still there.
So you would want to work towards kind of...
Yeah, minimizing it.
Okay. Okay, and what else you want to strive for?
I want to do this so my marriage is better.
Alrighty. Okay. So is it safe to say that the goals that you're striving for is to minimize your depression and to work on your marriage relationship?
Yeah, I guess also too with minimizing my depression, I want to I hope that I could be a more active and what's the word I'm looking for? More of a positive influence in my children's life.
Okay.
I guess I just want my kids to see that their mom can be resilient.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to reiterate the goals that we've said here today, and minimizing your depression, working on your marriage, and your relationship with your kids, being more active, and being more resilient, and showing your kids that basically mother is
can be happy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I think those are wonderful goals, and from here on, this is our initial intake, and we will work towards these goals together. It's a teamwork effort, and we'll set up an appointment when we come back in and we start the process on working on the goals.
Alrighty.
Alrighty?
Thank you.
Thank you.